to the wrestling school. He started me in his backyard, and then he ended up taking me to Duke the Dumpster's wrestling school, where Soulman Alex G had taken over as head trainer. And he introduced me to Alex, and I got trained at Duke the Dumpster's wrestling school as a favor to Prime. I never paid a penny for wrestling school. They didn't charge me a dime.
Oh, man.
They just taught me, but I was there at practice. I was there for the roads, you know. And they saw something. Those vets, you know, they looked around, they were like, oh, no, this kid got something, you know. And I was devoted to it. So then I became a student. Then I was ordering VHS tapes and borrowing VHS tapes. And when Norman Smiley brought me to his house one day and showed me Japanese wrestling for the first time, and I went.
So that was, you were in school, you're learning, and then you find out about Japanese wrestling.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, I knew that there were Japanese wrestlers. I didn't know about Japanese wrestling.
Right.
And as soon as I saw that, I went, yeah, I don't care about that Memphis style shit. I want to do that simulated combat. Yeah, I want to get suplexed on my head, you know, don't add the chemical imbalance, you know. But he showed me a tag match, and my memory, man, but I just remember it was a tag match with Manami Toyota and a partner, and Aja Kong and a partner. And man, they were kicking each other in the face, suplexing in the shots. It was brutal. And I was just, women, as they call them, Joshi. And I was just blown away at the level of work rate that I'm seeing with these women in this Japanese wrestling. And on the finish, I popped up and I went, Norman, that was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. He said, have a seat. That was the first fall. What? Yeah, this is what I want to do. So that's why I try to give some of the young guys a bit of leeway, in that I was a young guy too. And I wanted to do this crazy Japanese shit. And I had OGs going, nah, kid, that's a great idea for you to do with someone else.
Yeah.
Or like, and I remember Norman telling me, like, yeah, that strong style shit is a work. You can't do that every night. You watch these guys doing that at the Tokyo Dome or Korakuen Hall. These are big shows. The rest of the night, they're doing 3-4 man tag matches. Easy. Remember my first time in Japan working with Misato Tanaka. My introduction to Misato Tanaka was ECW and Mike Awesome. Those, have you seen those?
No,
dude,
no.
check out Mike Awesome and Misato Tanaka ECW. This is your homework.
Done.
This is a match that's gonna make you go, what in the fuck? Misato Tanaka being powerbombed from the top turnbuckle through a table. You know, it's ridiculous. Taking multiple chair shots to the head. Bam, no selling. Just a bad, man. And these matches were like sick matches. For fast forward, and I was the IWGP Intercontinental Champion. They wanted me to feud with Misato Tanaka. And I'm just thinking like, damn, it's gonna be some rough nights, man. Misato Tanaka is that dude. And the very first night on the road that we had to work, it was a 6-man tag. And Misato Tanaka must have been, you know, feeling kind of the same way, because he comes over, MVP son, tonight, easy, okay? I said, yeah, big okay. Easy, big okay. But for the major shows, you didn't get the same Misato Tanaka. You got turned up Misato Tanaka, who was laying it in.
Okay.
And I have this scar. Well, now it's kind of hard to see because I got a scar on top of a scar. But there's a scar right here on my arm that I got from Misato Tanaka when we had a match at Ryogoku. And he does a move where he sets you up on a Japanese table. Now, if you watch Japanese wrestling, the tables that they use over there are very different from American tables. They're constructed differently, they're slender, and there's a joke in the wrestling business about the Japanese tables not wanting to do the job.
Oh.
They don't break the right way all the time. And he would do this thing where he set you up on the table, he'd get up on the top turnbuckle, and he'd do a splash. And, you know, splash you through the table. This particular night, like, the table broke, but I went through it. So, like, the metal parts on the side, they didn't bend, they didn't break. They stayed straight, and just the wood of the table broke. So I was, like, stuck like this. And the way the table broke, it didn't explode. It broke where it kind of had jagged edges. So when I finally came out, I was laying down, and he came with part of the table and came down like to stab me with it, hit me with it. And it cut my arm open pretty bad. He didn't mean to do it. He wasn't being careless. It was total accident. But afterwards, I probably should have got a few stitches, but instead just glued it shut and just kept going.
That's a serious area though, right there, man.
Yeah.